Good morning, good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. I am going to be harvesting some magazines. First, a little sun. It is 75 and gorgeous, so it called for it. This is a newspaper and some stuff that I've had since last year. I'm pulling out things. This is a horribly right wing newspaper, but I'm using some of the fonts and I'm using some of the pictures um, and getting out what I want, but throwing the rest away because it's super, super, super sonic pro Trump. And I don't know how we got this, but it's definitely not in my wheelhouse and it's going in the trash. But first, I got to harvest out what I want. Something like the greatest big pumpkin contest in Half Moon Bay, California, which goes in my Hobonichi somehow, some way, um, or Midori-ichi actually. And I went through the whole month of October looking for a blank spot and finally found one. And this is sped up super fast because it's me going through magazines. But I might slow it down actually, mainly because this is a gorgeous magazine. Believe it or not, I slowed it down half of what I had it. It's called RH Home or something like that. But the textures in here is what I'm looking at and looking for. And a lot of the places I've been to, the front part of the magazine is beaches, and the second part of the magazine is mountains and decorating for houses in those areas or with those themes, I presume, is what it is. But I'm just pulling off some gorgeous, gorgeous beach scenes and some of this font also to keep it. And like that straw on that chair is stunning. And just as I'm going through this, I'm pulling out just sections and textures. I did a lot of vertical things that turn into beautiful browns and beautiful tans and just Texture is the only way I could say it the best way. Cutting out big picture of Big Sur. Little known fact: my favorite fabric designer is from Big Sur, but he lives in London and has for 40, 50, 60 years. But yeah, I'm pulling off couches and bedspreads and um, wall art and all kinds of stuff, looking for texture. And I'm really not sure why they divided all this stuff up between different beaches because it all looks alike to me. But here's Malibu, and those letters will be good somewhere along the road. But I've had this magazine since last year, and see, like this couch, just sections of that black are gorgeous. This carpet and that wood is beautiful. And I cut out some of these plants. And these go in blank spots in my Hobonichis or in journals. You never know where they might turn up. But I do, and I'm not focusing on color or the design, but textures. This is a perfect example right here. Taking that whole strip of white, the curtain, the comforter, the bedspread, the dust ruffle. It's all different layers of white, but so pretty and can go somewhere gorgeously, I think, in my opinion. So yeah, I just continue to pull out gorgeous, gorgeous layers and rows of texture or paintings or tables or whatever floats my boat. These black stones are a coffee table, I guess, or they're not stones, but they look like stones, but gorgeous, gorgeous. Um, and I don't know where I'll use them, but I do know that I love the texture of all of that. And I think I'm getting to the mountain part of the um, book. That table. And look at these corals, black. You don't usually see black coral like this, but it's gorgeous. So who knows? It's going in my book of stuff. Um, these are gorgeous, gorgeous baskets and doors. Just and here's a headboard. But if you look at it sideways, it's a gorgeous piece of texture. So yeah, so now this is where the magazine goes into. Those shutters are beautiful. Goes into the mountain section, which is on upside down. And I was pointing out where I've been, Tahoe and Vail, and I guess somewhere else. But that cabinet, that's to me is pretty. And again, I'm just pulling out a section of it. Here's a Christmas tree. I'm putting it in my Christmas pages of my Hobonichi that still have a tiny bit of blank spots. So yeah. Oh, So I've had these magazines for a while. They needed to be harvested, and I've had a couple of spare days here. I don't have my 2022 Hobonichi. I left it at home. But oh, and leather. Look at the leather. The leather looks great. Here's a leather headboard. And I put this was a leather headboard, black sheets, I think a black like lamb's Afghan. I pulled it all into strips and it's all separate textures. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. This is all very, very high end. I'm not sure how I got on this mailing list, but I get a lot of email from them, but I think this was the only catalog I got. I accidentally tore 2 pages out at the same time there, but it worked out fine. Here's another section of stuff just to, oh, it's a beautiful cabinet, but it's got gorgeous bowls in it. So I'm, coming after that too. Some more artwork that was just lots of textures. It all looks sort of, it's all very neutral and it's all very modern and it's all kind of like excavated artifacts, but in mine it's going to be beautiful paper. Oh, I love that. That was another headboard, I think. It's all beautiful. The wood is gorgeous. That wood right there is beautiful. But I wish they hadn't split that piece of art into 2 pages. Magazine layout, people. Keep it in one. Here's a wrought iron from a chandelier. Oh, not in my book. It's going to be a strip of texture. So pretty. So very, very, very pretty. Oh, and now there's some kind of stone lamp. I pulled that whole thing out. The whole thing. Here's another black one that I pulled apart and did into textures and rows for the Afghan, for the bedspread, for the headboard, for the black leather pillows. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Old time magazines from the inauguration last year. A couple phrases here that I can pull out, but I have a hard time going through Time magazine anymore because it's full of politics. In the last year, the last 5 years in California, or not in California, in the United States, the politics have been terrible, terrible. The sky in that picture was gorgeous, gorgeous. So I pulled that out. So I'm really not using very much of this. It's all COVID and politics. Good letters though, red letters. Red letters are not always easy to find. So I had this bag of magazines. I forgot it was here. Here is mountains with clouds. They make great texture too. Now this book, I forgot I had. It's a children's magazine, nature magazine, but it had great pictures. I just put the whole thing aside. I'm saving all of it. Rolling Stone, you wouldn't think you could get stuff out of here, but you can if you're looking for texture. Like that lady's dress right there. Lots of flowy lace and ruffles, and it turns into texture, great texture. And what else did I get out of here? Great colors. There's a lot of, this drum set and cymbals and things like that. Musical instruments make great lines of texture. In my book, in my journals, that's where they go. But there was a really bright picture in one of these Rolling Stones. I had two. Jungle prints are always good on Bacardi labels, rum labels. That's one of my favorite drummers, or not drummers, guitarist died. That is Christmas trees going into the Hobonichi pile. Oh, this girl's top. There's a lot of funky clothing a lot of times in Rolling Stone. Makes great texture and pretty backgrounds and whatever's. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, this is how old this magazine is. I pulled all that out. And what was I getting out of here? Oh, some words from Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And this is Bob Dylan's journal, but I just tore out a section of it. Great writing, great background. Yeah. So I got most of these magazines torn apart, and I could throw this part away. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.